Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, everyone. We have a big day ahead of us. We are live right now. Hopefully, we'll be joined by a few other superstars. If not, you guys know how I roll. We're gonna keep this ball rolling. I would like to have this up a little bit higher. Let's see. Okay. Voila. All right, I am right now in preparation mode. It is 1500 hours, that's 3 o'clock Central Time. We have people lined up to join me this summit. This is alphabets P, Q, and R. This is the PQ and R summit. We're gonna be discussing things that we talked about. We were gonna do last month during the March 27th one. And then I'm gonna give you guys the update, what's been happening. And then we're gonna talk about next month, what we expect to happen. So that's kind of what the agenda is. For those who don't know, my name is Cy Smith. I'm the founder of National Block Club University. Our whole mission is about safer neighborhoods, block by block. We recognize that that can't effectively be done if we don't help the Black community, which is really a human rights issue. Because we're the only group in this, it's just 7 continents who have not even had an apology for the wrong that's been done to us. So not to play victim, but it's just too much profit off of the pain and suffering of Black people. And so when we talk about this national summit, and it's really international because we're linked in with Africa as well, it's a pretty big deal. Now, I'm gonna get into the roll call and all those things as well, but I do wanna say to people, you can go back and watch this. It's streaming live on YouTube, SYRON Smith at yahoo.com. I mean, at Cyron Smith on YouTube. And you guys can go back and watch the previous ones as well. But know this, as a first-time viewer, you're gonna hear a lot of conversation about Black people. and I wanna be real clear about why that matters so much. You're not going to hear me talking about people of color, because just like French toast, you don't hear people of color toast French kiss. You don't hear people talking about people of color kiss Little Italy. You don't hear people talking about little people of color town, Chinatown, Greek. Every other group is nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, it's promoted that they have their own. But when it comes to Black people, even Black people are uncomfortable, saying Black. So I'm not one of those people. So you're not gonna hear me being afraid to talk about and using the word Black. I want us to be comfortable saying it so we can help others be comfortable talking about Black people. French Quarter. They ain't saying people of color quarter, and nothing wrong with Black fighting for themselves. There's nothing wrong with Blacks talking about Black, not people of color, brown and Black and brown coalitions. All of those things are distractions. All of those things show something that speaks to the bigger problem, that for some reason we're uncomfortable walking and being in our own skin. I got Mexican friends, I got white friends, I got Lithuanian friends, I have every gamut, and they know that if they need me, I'll be there for them, because first and foremost, I'm a human being and I'll be there for other human beings. But I'm very focused, and I understand the plight against Black people, so I'm not afraid to speak that and call that, and I hope Blacks would be just as equally confident speaking and talking about Black and not all this color stuff. Because again, Chinatown, Greek town, Little Italy, French toast, French kiss, French Quarter, New Orleans. You got German Shepherd, it ain't people of color Shepherd dog. You know what I mean? Italian sausage, Polish sausage, they ain't saying people of color sausage. So we gotta get comfortable saying Black. All right, that's it. I see we've been joined by the governor, the wonderful governor. What's up, Governor Charles?
Hello, everybody. Hey, how's it going, sir?
Every day, man, I'm grateful to keep on pressing us forward, doing my part. What about yourself?
Oh, man, I'm doing wonderful in the same struggle, brother. We are.
So you can hear me clear?
Yeah, it's a little bit choppy, a little choppy. It's slightly
Okay.
choppy. But still, I still can hear you clear.
All right. What I want to do, Governor, because it's 3:05 now, so I'm gonna get the roll call in right quick, and then I'm gonna go and set the TV up. It'll be about 2 minutes. So when I do that, then if you can introduce yourself, that'd be perfect while I set the TV up. That way I can hear that it's working. Uh, um, so for those who don't know what this PQR stuff means, what we've done is we've set up a system that's similar to the broken clock theory. A broken clock that doesn't work is right twice a day because it's 24 hours in the day and it keeps going around in circles. So it's 12 o'clock both in the AM and the PM. It's 2 o'clock both in the AM and the PM. It's 4 o'clock both in the AM and PM. So if a broken clock can be right twice a day, we believe that that we can get Black people to do something twice a year. What that does, it takes pressure off of people. Now they don't have to do it every month. They could just do it every 6 months. And we think that's going to put us in a more sustainable position as Black people. So I'm going to read to you the zip codes who we have as anchors for this National Block Club University. And I'm going to read to you who the leader is. And if you don't hear their last name being PQR, they shouldn't be on here, or they're not asked to be on here. They can be on here if they choose to. So 60612 zip code is east. That's East Garfield Park, West Side. The governor there is our superstar Brian Dickens, last name D. Not expected to be on, but we do have Faye Robinson. That's our superstar zip code. Last name R. We got 60623, which is North Lawndale zip code. That leader is Eric Strickland. Governor Eric Strickland. He'll be on next month because next month is ST&U last names. 60624 zip code is Sandra Branson. She last name B. Not expected to be on. That code is Garfield Park. Also on the west side, 60639 zip code. That's by new Kaiser, last name K. So he's not expected to be on. 60644 zip code is South Austin. 60639 is North Austin. That is led by our new leader, Jennifer. Jennifer, last name is Price. She should be on. She has difficulties with this Zoom technology piece that on our end, I heard in. So she won't be able to be on, but I'm in touch with her throughout the whole month. She's new, so she's only been the governor for the last 90 days. And then 60651 is superstar Cornethia Jones. That's the 6 zip codes covering the west side of Chicago. If you're from any of our other cities, please know the west side of Chicago is huge, but it's also smaller than the south side of Chicago. Chicago has 3 sides: south side, east side, west side, that we care about. And on the south side, 606 Oakland zip code, which is the new city neighborhood. That zip code, Ken Atwood is our leader there. 60620 is Governor Frances Newman. Last month was her last name, so she won't be on. They have 60621 led by our superstar Chastity Freeman. F last name won't be on. Then we have 60629. That's led by Governor Deborah Pryor. So she should be, hopefully she'll be able to jump on today. Then we have 60636 zip code led by Denise King, the governor, last name K, not expected to be on. We do have her district leader though, Crystal Peters, who I hope will be on to represent for West Singlewood, 60636. Then we have superstar Brittany Corners, 60652 zip code, last name C Corners, and to pay homage to Kimberly Pendleton. She passed away months ago, last name P. We're paying homage to her now from that zip code, 60652. The last one is 606, the east side of Chicago, 60615 zip code. That's led by Governor Joe Merles. Last month was last name's L2 last month. We had 60615 led by Christy Williams. Last name Williams, won't be on this one. 60619 is led by Governor Erica Dunn. Last name D will be on this one. 60628 is on here. You guys are going to hear from him in a minute. That's led by Governor Charles Robinson. 60637 is led by Claudette Reddick as the governor. Hopefully she'll be joining us before 5 o'clock today. 60637 zip code, which is the Woodlawn zip code. Then we have 60643. That zip code is led by leader Diane Barnes, last name Barnes, not expected to be on. And then we have 60629, led by superstar shucks, Rachel Lindsay. Sorry about that, Rachel. I drew a blank because I was thinking about my meeting today with Phyllis, last name O. But it is Rachel Lindsay, our government for the 60649 zip code. And then the last one is 60653. This was led by superstar G. Calhoun, last name Calhoun C. Not expected to be on. So that's our roll call for the global headquarters, 20 black zip codes in Chicago. I'm gonna take a quick break to get the sound check done. Governor Charles, please introduce what you're linked to and what you want to see happen before you leave. I'm gonna come right back in less than a minute.
All right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a little, your voice was a little choppy. It started to get a little choppy, just to let you know.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the summit. My name is Charles Robinson. I'm in zip code 60628, which is the Roseland area. And what I would like to see before I leave this planet, wait. Let me go back and say, this is the nursing district where I'm at 60628 for Chicago. And I'm connected also to the African country of South Africa. I'm a teacher by trade, but my passion is people. And what I would like to see before I leave this earth is us getting ourselves to a better social status, to a better economic status, and just taking our rightful place as a people on the world stage. Thank you. So if anybody else on and want to lead off with kind of like what I led off with, just speak.
No, Governor, I think that's it.
Okay.
And just thank you for that. And
Okay.
we can just show on the road. So the agenda is beautiful. I love the agenda that we have. So we're gonna go at 3:10. We're a little bit past that now. We're gonna talk about the good news, anything that's happening in Black America. The good news. Can you hear me, Governor? Is it working?
Yeah, it's working. It's still a little choppy though. A little choppy.
I just activated the other one. What about now?
Okay, you got the background, the echo background.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, it's echoing. Yeah.
Okay, now you can hear me fine?
Super clear.
All right. Well, what I did, I killed the other one. So let me go back in there and not activate the voice on it.
Okay.
And testing 1, 2, 3. You can hear me fine?
I hear you loud and clear, sir.
All right. Okay. The echo is back, right?
Yeah, it is, sir. Yeah, the echo right back.
You hear the echo again?
Yep.
Let me see.
I don't want to wear these anymore.
All right, what about now?
Clear.
All right, good. So we good to go then. That's excellent. All right, so the good news report, we're gonna go through that. Any good news, anything that helps move Black people forward, we wanna hear about it. Then we go into rural. We go into what's happening in rural America for Black people. Then we get into our safety and young people agenda. Then we go through missing persons. We go through economic development, construction. We go through the name you're for. We go through the career linkages. We go through the health, the food. We go through the teachers, the awards. We go through the policy. We go through the legal. We go through report cards on politicians. We go through the laws on the books, voter registration. We talk about the Gary conventions. Then we talk about the next summit. So that all of that stuff we're gonna cover over the next, is always 2 hours, but it's gonna go so quick you won't even notice it, people. I promise you. So Charles, you have any good news? Anything good that happened for us that we should hear that encourage us?
As a matter of fact, well, I'm just I'm just glad that everybody's trying to be positive, and great stuff is coming up for us around the turn. But nothing personally I have to report as of today. But just grateful.
On our end, what I can say is we have secured our how do I say it? The headquarters are going to be much more stable than it was in the last 6 years now. Without going into too many details, the last 6 years have been the most challenging for National Block Club University, yet people didn't know that. But we have now anchored and we're back stable like we were in 2015. So I suspect that things are going to flow better as a result of us being a whole lot more stable than we were. The other good news is we created this fun agenda, F-U-N agenda. And when I show you guys that agenda, I think you're going to be excited as well. We're going to be also talking about at the latter end during open session at 4:40, we're going to be talking about the 7 vacant lots and what that's going to mean to you and your family. So that's the good news. And now we go right into the rural report. The rural report is this. We have Mississippi as one of the most important places for Black people in the world, because Africa needs Mississippi to do what Mississippi can do. If Mississippi does what it can and capable of doing, Africa is going to be in a better position and vice versa. But it starts with the power of Black people here in the blackest state in the United States of America. Governor, jump in whenever, just jump right in if I say something that sparks something, and we just go keep right on going.
All right.
Now, for those who don't know, Mississippi is almost 39% Black people, almost 39%, meaning almost 40% of the state. No other state is close to that, no other state. So almost 40% Black means that we will finally have a state that half of the state is us. The next closest is we got Maryland, that's pretty Black. We got South Carolina, North Carolina, we got Florida. Georgia is 31% Black. So the South is where majority of us are. We know that, but Mississippi is the cream of the crop when it comes to the capacity of us having Black elected officials, Black economics, all those things that come when you are the majority in a place. So our goal is to get as many people to relocate down to Mississippi, have double housing, North housing and South housing. But we want to build Mississippi up. That's a strategically important place for Black people. Here's what we've done with Mississippi this month. So we have 108 meetings in Mississippi every single month, 108. Now it's 108 towns. And what we've done, Governor Charles, this is exciting. What we've done this month in April, and we won't do it again until October. So we're putting this along the lines of the PQs and R's, last names, April and October. We went to the east, to the northeast, to the east and the southeast of all 108 towns. Did you copy that, Governor?
I hear that loud and clear.
Now, let me give you an example on what that means, because I mean, this is a big deal. This is a really, really big deal. So there's 82 counties in Mississippi, 82 counties. We took 108 towns out of those counties and we said, let's work in them counties to get to know the Black people and get them to come together and make life better for Black people. So here's an example, Holly Grove, Mississippi. All right. We went to the northeast of Holly Grove and now we got Grenada. We went east of Holly Grove, now we got Winona. We went to the southeast of Holly Grove, now we got Kosaku. Another example. So that's 3 other places we got because of us having this northeast, east, and southeast agenda. In Bentonia, Mississippi, for only in April and only in October, east of Bentonia, northeast is Woodlawn, a town called Woodlawn. East of Bentonia is Canton. And then southeast of Bentonia is Carnegie Park. Now, I ain't gonna read all these to you, but let me tell you why that matters so much. We already got 108 towns in our system. You go 3 ways, northeast, east, and southeast. That's 3 times 108. 3 times 108. So that's 324 towns because of just April and October that we get to build relationships in, get to know the people, and recruit them people to start coming back up north, helping out Black businesses out all over this country. Governor, what you think about that?
Wow, when I first heard it, you know, I mean, the excitement built because just to know that travel piece is there, you know. I mean, what more can be said about bringing people together from you know, rural areas down to city meet the rural area? I mean, that connection is just fire to me. You know, just to know that we got something in place, and we don't have to go through a lot of red tape to get it done. You know,
right?
Yeah. So that's great. I think that piece right there is a great piece, and the capture the east, the west, and all those different areas is man. I mean, I'm looking like I guess what I'm thinking to myself, how can that be done, and what is it going to take to make that happen? You know.
Well, the good news, Governor, we did it already. Like, that's the good news. It went down in April. And now in 7 days, we get the parking lot, all that to the side, and don't bug it again till October of this year. Like, you know what I mean? We did it already.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is awesome to know that that's right there. And I know some people probably like, no, you know, I don't see people from east side of town moving that quick, you know, to how together is this, you know, and then what would they do when they get to these different places?
Yeah. Well, you know, the key, Governor, this is what I always say about people. It's all about how you view life. If you view life skeptic, if you're a skeptic in every aspect of life, then you probably go view it that way. If you're an optimist, then you probably go view it that way. So I don't get caught up into too many. Like, I love skeptics. They give you a chance to sharpen the saw, if you will. But I don't get caught up into people who are going to look immediately for the negative. We can answer any questions they have, but unless they bring it up, we just going to continue building, man. You already know that.
Right. Yeah.
So next month, we're going to only concentrate in May, and then 6 months later, November, on all 108 towns, the towns south of that town. So every town, we only go focus on the town underneath it, whatever is south of it. And so, like Pascagoula is the Gulf of Mexico. So that one next month, we ain't gonna be able to focus on them because they're in the water, Gulf of Mexico. But all the rest of the towns, whatever town is south of them, we're gonna reach out to them, find out who's there, and try to win them over to join what we're doing. So and then every month we're gonna be focusing on some place outside of our 108, so we can spread our reach into those other small towns as well. So unless you got anything else for Mississippi, I just wanted to get that out there so people know what's happening with Mississippi and why that matters so much.
Yeah, I mean, just like I say, it's an exciting time right now to be doing this, you know. I mean, wow. I'm just thinking about the vast growth that'll come from that, you know, that we got the Midwest cities and other cities connecting with Mississippi, which we do call it the Black Hub,
Yeah.
you know, of all America, you know, because that's where your biggest, you know, population of us sits in towns all over, you know, yeah.
And Governor, keep this in mind, because, and I'm glad we brought this up. Please notice, Black people around America, every place we get to know somebody in, that person can be an outlet for your son, father, daughter, auntie who need a job and to get away from their family and friends. So that's how I want you to view this. Every relationship in every town can become a deployed place for your loved one to go and get their head right, to go and earn some money away from home. So that's what's just super exciting, because if we're getting to know 324 towns in Mississippi just because of this process, that is 324 new opportunities that you or someone you love might have to connect and travel and get away.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Excellent. Indeed. All right. So let us move, Governor, because we rocking and rolling. Real quick, to Chula, Mississippi, you see that sign? It is 1,800 people in that town, 1,887 people. 98% of them people is Black, 98%. And for people say, why you care? Why you trying to talk about the races? Where Blacks are the majority at? Because if you look underneath here, the whitest states is Idaho, 90% white, Iowa, Maine, you got Minnesota, you got 92% Montana. We don't have one state 50% Black. So if you go criticize us for caring about Chula being 98% Black, that's a small town of less than 2,000 people. You got 9 states where we ain't even 50% at. So miss me with that type of comparison. The bottom line is we need to have places that we're the majority, and we can have the functionality of places like non-Black places that's not shooting and killing. They control the economy. They celebrate well together. We need that as well. All right. So let's close that out.
Oh, go ahead, Governor. I love that you said that. I mean, just like you say, we got different things named after different ethnic groups like Polish and Italy and stuff like that. I mean, we should pride in ourselves also, you know, and know that we are important as human beings too. You know, so therefore nobody should feel left out, even though it feels like we isolated in a lot of ways. Just like you say, when you look, you just name them states, that's just sticking people here to let them know that, hey, all these places that we think we are not. You know, we're not the majority, you know. Yeah.
And it's like I said before you got on, I was trying to be real clear about this whole people of color versus being comfortable saying Black, and how we got to change the narrative and make it okay to say Black and not feel bad about saying Black, that we got to say people of color or Black and brown people. Because right now with the census, now they want to have Latino wards, more Latino wards. I ain't mad at them for that. They should want that, but it's going to come at the expense of Black wards. And so they're not talking about Black and brown coalition. They're talking about, no, I want mine. So we got to be careful not being falling for the okie doke, always wanting to be kumbaya versus having constructive, positive competition. You know, at the end of the day, that community wants immigration. They want rights for immigrants. We want reparations. Those are two direct, distinct differences. And so we shouldn't be ashamed to push for ours and say this, we this coalition. No, we are all fighting for our communities, and ain't nothing wrong with that. That
Yeah,
don't mean you hate the other
yeah.
person, you know?
I love that you say that. That's like me saying, you're jumping me when you jump me first. You know what I'm saying? I'm jumping on you, but you jump me first. You know, that's what it's like saying. So I'm very comfortable with saying black. I have no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We just got to help our people get there because a lot of people are not, you know what I mean? But yeah, I always tell people I got Mexican friends, I got a lot of different types of friends, and they know if they need me, I'm there for them. So, don't look at it like you can't be cordial with people. Yes, you can.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. But now let's move on to this other agenda. The other agenda is dealing with safety. Every Monday is safety day. Every Monday is safety day. And the sad news is on Mondays, we get the national report on who been shot, killed, stabbed, and raped. And that's always sad. It's always unacceptable. And so I'm going to read to you what the report has right now. And it's just real. We got work to do. But this will continue to happen as long as we can't get 1,000 people to send in $1. And when people say, what that's going to do, it's going to show 1,000 people on the same page. What that's going to do, once we get that happening, then we're going to say, can we get 1,000 people in this one neighborhood? Then can we get 1,000 people in the next neighborhood? So every time you keep getting 1,000 people to send in $1, what you're really doing is getting people to buy in, pool resources together, come together. So that's why it matters. And all this stuff about stopping the violence without talking about the money, pulling our money together, to me is a distraction. We've been at this too long, so we know how this go. Governor, you got any thoughts on that?
No, you said the right thing there, sir.
So here we go, y'all. Take a peek at the screen here. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. These are people whose lives are different right now because of this, because of what you're about to read. And this is what, to me, should keep us motivated, knowing that whatever we're doing is not enough. Whatever we're doing is not enough, because somebody right now is hurting because their daddy is dead, their nephew is dead, their auntie, and someone took their life. So whatever we're doing, we got to do better in order for this to not be the case here. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. Governor, can you see it?
Yeah, that's stagnating just to look at all them different cities and numbers and times. We got times, we got what happened, and wow.
Well,
This is
let's talk about a
overwhelming.
few of them. Let's talk about it, because the fact is, I want Black people to know when they see this, there is a solution. Like, there is a remedy for this. So let's go through it real quick. 15-year-old teen shot in Chatham's, 900 block east of 78th Street. He was talking to another male, pulled out the gun, shot him. We had the Memphis man found dead in the car. Somebody shot him to death at 11:30 in the morning, in the afternoon. Birmingham man killed, then they set the house on fire, the vacant building, put him in the vacant building. Atlanta man shot to death, he crashed his car. The same time, we had a Chicago man shot on the west side, he crashed his car. All of this is Black. All of this is Black. And so for those who never heard me say it before, HSN is going to deal with this right here. HSN is going to deal with this violence. That stands for Habits, Schedule, Network. Habits, Schedule, Network. Habits, Schedule, Network is going to annihilate this foolishness you see right here. Let me scroll down so you can see this. This is just atrocious. All of this. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm going to track, because every Monday is safety. HSN, Habits, Schedule, Network. The key to this shooting and killing, this violence and robbery and all this stuff, the biggest thing is lifestyle. Lifestyle. HSN is all about lifestyle. Everyone, when you think about lifestyle, you got a set of habits. You got a set of habits. If we look at the times this stuff is happening, 2 in the morning, 6 in the morning, 1:05. What are you doing at that time? Now, if you've got a job, that's different. But some people, their habits is hang out all night, sleep all day. Those are habits. Some people habits is going out there robbing people. Habits. The schedule is about time. A lot of people can be out 2 in the morning because they ain't got to go to work tomorrow. They let the baby mama take care of the kids going to school. They hang out and then don't even send the kids to school. They sleep. So habits and then schedule, how they use their time. And then the last one is network. A lot of people, they can't pick up the phone and call in any support of professional people. Matter of fact, some of them can't even recommend someone for a referral for a job because their network is so limited to just the people they hang out with in the local neighborhood. So part of everything we're doing is connecting that 17-year-old that love working with wood to that 70-year-old that's a master carpenter who now he can pick up the phone because he's in his network. Governor Charles, what you got to say about any of that?
Yeah. You're right, Sad. Once again, I mean, what you doing is very important. How you spending your time and who you spending your time with, and just time itself. As we know, I work for the public school system in Chicago, and the dropout rate is alarming. We know that, and I'm thinking to myself, what are these people that dropped out going to do with that time?
Right.
That's very critical because looking at this, I'm looking at this profile of people that got that's no longer with us. That's them. I'm looking at them now. That time that they spent, and you're right, say all these AM, 5 AM and 2 AM and stuff like that. What were they doing through the day? Just like you said, some of them sleep through the day. You only got, as we say, 14,000. Is I'm right? Is I'm going up the right street there? 14,000.
I got you. You going into the seconds. I got you.
In them days, in a day. What are you doing? Hour by hour with that, I mean, who are you with hour by hour?
Right.
Yeah. So that's very critical. And I love the part what you say about taking that young person that's interested, that feel like they down, that want to do something with wood, but never got a chance to do nothing with wood, to hook them up with a retired carpenter that could teach them that's instant money in his pocket, just him teaching them the skill of that. So that's vital. Now you got vitality in your life. So I think this is a great way to operate all around the United States for us. So I see the promise and the vision in that.
And with your experience of being out there firsthand, door to door, engaging young people, when you speak, it matters because you ain't just talking. You know what I mean? Like you out there in these streets and you've seen it firsthand. So now we got to move on to our agenda, missing persons real quick and vacant buildings. So we had this thing called Block War Games. And I was trying to see if I had a flyer that I can post so people can see the Block War Games. But let me just break it down. And if I find it, I'll post it. But let me tell you why that matters so much. The purpose of Block War Games is it allows us to have fun. Games is associated with fun. And you heard me say it's time we got to really have some fun, but we got to be strategic in our having fun. Block is who we are. We block by block. So we talking about how do we have fun on the block, and at the same time, the fun that we having on the block is preparing us to live better and just have a better way of life. So Block War Games is 3 things. Real clear. You guys can write that down. Block War Games is 3 things. It's the odd number of houses on your block and the even number of houses. That's one of 3 things. All right. It is the beginning of the block, the middle of the block, and the end of the block. That's the second of the 3 things. Then the last thing is it's the 4 corner houses on your block. 2 on the beginning of the block and 2 at the end of the block. Let me tell you why this is a big deal. When you think about anything that's happening in our neighborhood, all those violence reports I just showed you, most of that happened on a block somewhere. You got, and it's so bad now because people get in their cars and leave for everything, that neighbors don't know each other at all. A criminal love it when you don't know your neighbor. They love it. It is like they lick their lips when they know you don't know your neighbor. That don't mean you gotta love your neighbor, like your neighbor, but it not being connected with your neighbor helps criminals. They love it when you're isolated. So let's talk about the four corner houses. The corner houses represent no one gets on the block, off the block, unless you got a lot of vacant lots, unless they go through the corners. So whoever's on the corner houses play a particular safety role. So right now, with our missing persons, if there's a 14-year-old girl on your block being trafficked, she's being trafficked, she came through the front of that block or the end of that block to get on your block. And them four corner houses act as a force field, as a eyes and ears, if you will. And so the block war games allow us to get out there and educate them four corner houses. We call them the snipers. Anyone on the four corner houses are the snipers, because they are singly focused and they can make sure that we know what's happening coming on or off the block. The beginning, middle, and end of the block, we took our military and we said all our veterans will be assigned to different parts of the beginning of the block, the middle of the block, and the end of the block, so that them residents know they can call on these safety-minded people. And then the odd number, even number, that's dealing with how to get our young people to engage our people on the block and take the knowledge they get from them people and use it so that we can line up all the teachers, all the doctors, all the lawyers. So that's what block war games is. And I said all that because when we look at the missing Black women in this country, imagine if we're having these war games on the block and we get in the four corner houses to see value. We get in the beginning, middle, and end of the block to see value. Neighbors are being connected. Now, you can't traffic that young girl on the block because the neighbors are too engaged. They talking with each other. They know who belongs and who don't belong on the block. Governor, what's your thoughts on that?
Hey man, when you introduced that to me, I was thinking about a discussion me and you had about just like, if you think of war games, it's like war period. Just like you say, if you got them corner blocks, them corner houses, and they are the snipers, and that's the in and the out. You're right. You can't come through the middle. You ain't just gonna invade and walk through somebody's backyard and just walk to the middle of the block. So you got to come in on end to end. That's just like any war. When me and you was discussing, you mentioned, you take out, what you're gonna do. You're gonna cripple your enemy. You're gonna take out all the infrastructure, all the things that could make that person more deadlier to you. So the snipers is taking out anything that, you got people, just like you say, they engaged in doing noticing each other, and just like we say, we ain't got to sit down and eat steak together every night, but at least we are aware of each other and we are aware of what's going on around. Yep. So therefore, just having that tip right there at the corner, take out, oh yeah, I seen the entrance or the exit of this and that. That's taking out the infrastructure of anybody that want to do somebody harm as far as trafficking. This ain't the block to do it on. That's what they're gonna know, and that should be known.
Yeah. And remember, the vacant houses on the block, if the vacant house is on the beginning of the block, Army veterans go cover it. If it's in the middle of the block, the Navy Coast Guard gonna cover it. If it's at the end of the block, the Marines are gonna cover it. So that's why we just saying to the residents, give us the addresses of all the vacant buildings. We're gonna determine if it's in the middle, beginning, or the end. That information will go to our Army, Air Force, Navy vets so that they can keep extra watches for the vacant buildings on every single block in Black America. That's how big that is.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so now let's switch gears and talk about our young people. Every Saturday is Youth Day. Every single Saturday is Youth Day. And this here is what I guess is disturbing, but also encouraging. Because I grew up working a summer job, sitting at Marshall High School, literally just wasting my 5 hours can't wait to get out of there. Can't wait to get my little paycheck every 2 weeks. That was me back in 1980 something. So the beauty with our young people now, because of this infrastructure, now we talking about young people traveling. Man, do you know what I would have did back instead of sitting inside Marshall High School summer program? If I could have been traveling, going places, seeing other things, like that would have just changed my whole direction as a child. Uh-oh, we got Governor Claudette in the house. Welcome.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Me, you, Governor Charles on, so I'm glad you can jump on here.
Okay, yeah, I'm at a memorial service on the patio, and I just happened to see that notice. But I'm glad to see you. I was thinking I gotta call these people. I ain't heard from them in quite a while. You're looking good, Sarah.
Well, you know, I want you to just do your introduction because of where you are, and just let people know any good news, what's happening, and give us an update.
Oh, wow, so much is going on. I've been involved in, and primarily through the Cannabis Equity Illinois Coalition. They have opened new doors for me and our purpose. We're an advocacy group on the cannabis laws, but the fact that we are doing community education programs is what gets me up in the morning. Who can we talk to about it so that the people can know what's available in their communities and how they can help make it happen? Because I'm sure those on the call here know that our legislators didn't do shit but grandstand, like they were making things happen. And they have 100 social equity licenses on hold for over a year now with court stuff. So all the black and brown people can't even operate. And that's been our advocacy mode to try and pressure legislators and community organizers to let's get this done. So all you have to do is go up north.
Now, Governor, here's the key with what you just said is the black and brown are pretty much sidelined or not getting a piece of the pie. And right. I want to just add this to it because unfortunately, everything is propped up by the supremacy of one group. And so unless they feel comfortable, they don't unleash the resources to the rest of them if it's going to take away from them passing it down to their children and grandchildren. So it's going to be a battle. And I'm glad you in it. And anything we can do to support?
Well, like I said, talk to your legislators, find out what material we have, because we offer excellent expungement services for those who have the convictions. The coalition will pay for them to get that removed. We have legal aid attorneys who work with us. We pick them up from their house, take them to the police station, get that rap sheet. We help it get done. And so I think if maybe more people knew about that, especially our young people, because that record really hinders them from employment, housing, and a number of other things. We're just trying to help them make the change. You can do it. Billions of dollars sitting here waiting to be allocated to our communities, and nothing's happening.
Well, I don't know how much time you have, but I wanted to make sure that they heard from the governor of the zip code. And so we're going to get back on the youth. We were talking about the youth. So did you have anything else you wanted to share?
Well, yes. Our alderwoman, Jeanette Taylor, she awarded money to the Woodlawn Restorative Justice Program.
Excellent.
Yeah, these are young people from 18 to 24 experiencing life changes, and the Woodlawn Restorative Justice offers them services to help them make the change so they can be successful people in the community. So I'm excited about that. I'm the ambassador, if you will.
Now, where are they headquartered at? Where's the office at?
Well, we don't have one. We've been Zooming and we've been meeting at different community sites. We are going to, I think, the 1st of May, get back to meeting in person. Just been Zooming, and I think we met for pizza once in the past year. But it's a good group of people. We've got some excellent supporters, young community activists that gives them skills on how they can affect change in their own areas and stuff. So I get excited about them too.
Now, the beauty with what you just shared, and I was getting ready to tell everyone about the young people. There are mothers right now, and it pains me for a Black mother to know that when she had that baby, that 13 to 24-year period, her son might not make it. That got to be very hard for a mother to know that growing up in this society where Black men are either killed by their peer or by the police, to know that you're trying to navigate them getting past 25 years old. What we have here, what I'm about to read to you guys, is why there should be some hope for our Black mothers and Black fathers too, but Black mothers, because you carry them for 9 months. I'm gonna go through kindergarten through 12th grade real quick. Mississippi is key, y'all. Mississippi is key. We gotta remember, make sure that they travel and they see something different. That's so important to build up a different lifestyle mentality. So kindergartners are Colo, Mississippi. So we're gonna eventually get the money where we're gonna make sure that we get our young people down to Arcolo, Mississippi. That's a Black town, and that's gonna boost the Arcolo town economy. When we taking turns, Claudette, you got Mississippi kindergartens going down there in June. Charles, you got Dallas kindergartens going down there in July. We're gonna bombard that small Black town with our young people. Sartia, Mississippi, another Black town, first graders. Marks, Mississippi, second graders. Costa Cusco, third graders. Boo, Mississippi, fourth graders. Canton, Mississippi, fifth graders. Bay Springs, Mississippi, sixth graders. Glendale, Mississippi, seventh graders. Tutwiler, Mississippi, eighth graders. Hattiesburg, Mississippi, ninth graders. Bentonia, Mississippi, 10th graders. Patterson, Mississippi, 11th graders. And the 12th graders coming to Leland, Mississippi. Do y'all know what that's going to do when you got 20 cities around America sending young people there so that they can be amongst each other, fellowship, get to know each other, meet new people, be exposed, be in a Black state? What do y'all think about that?
I like it. I don't know about others, but I used to enjoy my trips down south for our 2 weeks every summer. And COVID has really reminded me of how beautiful the countryside is, to see stuff growing and to meet people who are not from the city, but they of us. And so we would exchange ideas and stuff with cousins and neighbors. I think that's an experience that all of us need. We need to move around and get to know each other. A big family. And Mississippi, I think they hold the most Negroes, if you will, the most land and the most possibility for us. Yep. We're talking about some new things for our people. So I like the idea.
And Governor, keep in mind, no other state in America does your money go the furthest than in Mississippi.
Yeah, I'm looking for a retirement place where I can go and live off my Social Security safely. Have a high quality of life. So Mississippi might get.
And I think that's going to be the key. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. You're going to have a place in the South and in the North, so you can benefit that way. That's the future for us, is multi places, not just one place, multi.
Oh, yes.
Governor Charles, what about you? What you think about the mothers of these young Black boys knowing? Because keep in mind, when they become teenagers, that's the gang banging time. That's the drugs time. That's the sex time. So imagine them now being able to travel in the rural place where they breathing in trees and not concrete.
Hey, I'm glad we on this topic, because I thought about what you said. You was at Marshall High School around your teen years. Summer job. I was thinking about my summer job experience. I was around Stateway Gardens, but I did get a taste of something during that summer. We were able, I was 16, we were able to, through HRDI back then. You ever heard of them, HRDI? What they were doing was gathering up people from, back then I was in the project, so, they was gathering up people from other projects, and they were taking us on one big expansive trip to Wisconsin, to Lake Geneva. So that happened at that time. That was my first time really going out of town where, where when I was a teen. And so all us went to Wisconsin, Lake Geneva. So you got
Wow.
all these projects. You got the West Side. You got the Argyle all the way to Argyle Gardens. From end to
Wow.
end, you had Caprini Green in the house, Henry Hornets, the Ickies,
Rockwell.
all these different barrage of people, and youth, and it was cool, man. I
Heck
mean,
yeah.
I felt the brotherhood with those brothers.
Yeah.
We know we come from different places, but it wasn't like, back then. Let me see, that was about 80, I want to say 83, 84, 80, about 80, no, that was about 80, 82, something like that. But it wasn't like a game banging thing, like somebody hating on somebody. Man,
Right.
all us got together because I'm sure they probably never been nowhere either.
Exactly.
So, just to be out, and then we, just like you say, I'm thinking about what you said about Mississippi, smelling that it's summertime. So we smelling those fresh trees. We going hiking, we going canoeing and stuff like that. We eating like continental breakfast. So to us, it felt like royalty. We stayed in these not in the cabin, in these dorms, and it was
Yeah.
cool, man. So I'm thinking how I felt on my first venture like that. So I know it's gonna be like that for their first venture. Getting out of the city. Go
And
ahead.
keep in mind, Governor, this got to be free. We got to pay for it. The community, the public, them parents shouldn't have to foot the bill. It got to be free for them.
Just like they did. That's just like they did. We ain't had no expense, So therefore, yeah. I mean, that was lovely to wake up and be there for 2 weeks. And knowing what
That's
I
a
had to
long
look,
time.
I didn't want to come back to Chicago, man. That's that good.
That's a long time. So yeah.
I didn't want to come back, man. Yep. So I know it's a great thing. I know because it changed my life. It made me look at life kind of different when I got back. It made me think of stuff. What am I gonna do to kick off my life? Am I gonna stay in school? That kind of motivated me to stay in school, actually. Yeah. Gave me
Well,
a chance to
we shifting gears to talk about economic development. Governor Claudette already gave us a segue in there when she started speaking about the cannabis. And so every Wednesday is economic day to us. Every Wednesday is economic day. What that means is that on one day out the week, we asking you to not give your money to people who don't care about our experience, our struggle, and that you give the money to, or you circulate the money with people who are in the struggle with you. That's like blood staying inside your body. Blood staying in your body is a good thing. Blood out your body, that might not be a good thing. So we keep the money circulating inward. That's a good thing. Just like Chinatown, Greek town, Little Italy. So Wednesday is that day we concentrate on that. Now, cannabis to me is unfortunately a form of what could have been reparations, because I don't know how much cannabis changed, but there's so many Black lives have been decimated and locked up for something that now they're saying has a medical use. Well, were we ahead of the game eons ago? Like, what the heck happened? The guy rained down a certain magical rain that now this thing that grows is now healthy, and it wasn't healthy a long time ago. So there's some repair needed to happen, but what happened is the same old people who never, I call it the iron curtain of no remorse. The same people who ancestors didn't have a remorse for what they did in capturing us, now in the same line leading again, not saying this was wrong what happened to them, let's put them in the front of the line. Instead, nope, the greed is passed down. Claudette, speak to that. What you think about that assessment?
Well, it's true. And I must say, we had a conference at Chicago State University about a week ago on the cannabis industry, and the legislators, those running for office, shall I say, came out, and we would ask them their opinion, how they're thinking about this, what would their position be if they won. And nobody wanted to commit themselves in anything definite. But during the program, I was so pleased to see these two state or city committeemen from Evanston, where they have begun the reparations and have given out $25,000 checks to Black families who were discriminated against. And these guys were young too. And I was like, wow, but they're in charge of the legislature and they decided we're going to do it for our people. So it's very encouraging. And it's just each municipality has a commitment to address this. And if they're not pressured, they won't. They just let it slide till the money comes. Who's offering money and not opportunity?
And here's what's sad. Here's what's sad about it. This is what's really, really sad about it. It really ain't, like, if you think about it, this is a human thing to do. An injury has occurred to Black people. An injury has occurred. Like, this isn't natural. And I want to go with this analogy. We're not crabs in the barrel. Like, please stop saying we crabs in the barrel, because it misses the whole point. Crabs aren't born in the barrel. Crabs aren't born in the barrel. Who put them in the barrel? That's how we should see Black people. If we fighting amongst each other, what the crab on the bottom supposed to do? Just stay there and suffocate? Or he go try and get up? Like, I mean, don't be mad. We trying to survive in the midst of an environment that we didn't ask to be put in. Who put the crabs in the barrel? That's who we should be looking at versus them trying to make it out. So we got to look at those people who got us in the boat we in and how they still don't want to do right. And these are the children of those people back in the day.
Exactly. And that's why my fight is so, because if this is a new industry and there's a legacy building possibility, I want it for my grandson. Something I do, something I believe in, has a lot of different options. And what people forget is we're not just getting high. There's so much to do. The branding, the packaging, the training, there are jobs in this and possibilities to go beyond the cannabis industry with your skills. And that's what I want us to know. Come on, you guys, we could do a lot. They might be holding up the dispensary, but they need us for so many other things. And we need to need each other.
And the fact is, whether they like it or not, the demographics are changing in society. Whether they like it or not, that's what's happening.
Just an aside, I heard Mississippi got the most mixed couples in any state. So I'm like, yeah, it's changing.
Well, you remember the one drop rule though. So just when you say mixed, you know what they pushed that over to. So, so that's what that is. But let's go with this real quick too on the economic side. In 34 days, that gets us from now until Friday, May 27th. We should have 1,000 Black businesses. 1,000. I'm 47. We never had 1,000 Black businesses. Name, address, phone number, their business. We're going to, by that Memorial Day weekend, we're going to have been engaged 1,000 Black businesses. That's 50 Black businesses in all 20 of our cities. 50 Black businesses in all 20 of our cities. That is capacity out of this world. What we're going to be talking to them about is making sure that we can raise $100,000 like this. That's $100 from all 50 of them. And we take that 100 grand and we use that to build back our people, our communities. It's gonna be a trust issue. We're gonna make sure that we can trust each other. And here's the best part, y'all. I want to get both of y'all thoughts on this. When they get ready to say, man, I don't know, I can't trust you, I don't know you, we gonna be able to say, here go 10 people. Here go 10 people with their $10 to make sure you don't lose your $100.
Wow. That's quite a backside for them. It's like you just...
Because we know the biggest battle is trust. What y'all think?
I agree. Trust. And then when you tell them that small amount, they get nervous. You can't do nothing with that. What you gonna do? You just taking my money?
Yeah.
So, I don't know the answer other than those who believe to stay committed and to stay together. Everybody ain't going for it. And I was listening to George Fraser last night, Success Runs in Our Race. And he was just sharing, you have to start ostracizing those who have and are and will not give back. We don't need them. They just in the way.
Now, Gov, what you think about this? This the beauty. That's the benefit of the last name solution. Because now, if we don't ostracize you forever, we go put you in the corner for 6 months. We go come back and see if you change your tune in 6 months. If you have, if you haven't, another 6 months. Because people change. Life happens and people lead their life and now they looking at life differently. So we're not permanently ostracizing you. We go check on you twice a year and see if you got your mind right. And if so, fine. But we ain't dependent on you every single month no more because we got this process that is like a broken clock. It's right twice a day. So we only go ask you twice a year.
Makes some sense twice a year because the ostracizing comes with an agenda. And then, when I come back for the second checkup, have you done any of this, my brother, my sister? What's on?
Yep. Governor Charles, what you think? Okay, we may have lost Governor Charles.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, I ain't gonna take too much time. I know we moving, but first of all, trust is, as we stated in the first, trust is something that we have to start doing. I don't care who we couldn't trust in the past. I'm not saying trust somebody that we just know crooked. I'm on the side of the that hey, as far as I'm looking at when y'all talking about the marijuana thing, I think everybody that got locked up for it and got all that time should just automatically get a dispensary. I don't know. If you want to do some reparation type of thing for them spending all that time. Because remember, you wrongfully did them, and now the agenda is it works for you. You the thief yourself. You the criminal. That's how I'm looking. The legislator is the criminal. In that, you're gonna make it. In order to make it right, you gotta do something. You get reparations for when they lock people up and they go to court and they sue you and all that. So that's the way I see that. And
they call that restitution, Governor.
There you go, restitution.
And they got a place for it on your income tax too.
Yeah. They
where you got from restitution.
All that money they missed, they should be getting. That's the way I look at that. Yep. But go ahead, sir. Move on. I know you got to move.
No. Let's tap into construction real quick, and cannabis ties into that. So for those who don't know, every fourth Monday is our construction day. What that means is that's when we're talking to young people and the retirees for every carpenters, bricklayers, welders, auto mechanics, anyone in the hands-on trade. That's the day we kind of go through connecting dots, finding out barriers, finding out gaps so we can fill them gaps. So that's this coming Monday. We'll be doing that again. We've been meeting some Black men that's really, really stepping up and engaging the young people. The sad part is a lot of the young people, life is so volatile that they not being consistent. Our solution is that they will be from out of town and they'll be in town for 3 months, 6 months, possibly a year. So they're away from all the home distractions. You got a more focused, dedicated person. But we just not there yet. So in the meantime, the elder men that's doing the work, we're encouraging them not to get too discouraged that these young Black males are not following through, not being consistent. But that's the beauty of having governors in the zip codes, is some of the barriers that they're meeting, they local governor could possibly make phone calls and get them some mitigations to some of that home front stuff so that they can be consistent with the elder Black construction guys trying to show them the ropes. Any thoughts you guys have on that?
Well, you're speaking of Grover Reed. See, that brother tries so hard to encourage and engage young people, and if they're like a nephew of mine, they promise and they don't even show up. They don't call, and you're left hanging. So it is, I don't know where that group of young people are that want to work, that want to learn are, but we must keep searching for them. They're here.
Well, Governor, I watched, like I said, I was in the Navy, and everyone, it was zero unemployment on the base. Zero. Everyone on base had a job. And a decent job paying too. And even then, this was in 1994. Even then, the captain used to have to take the ship away from the pier because every time we was moored and people can come and go, he'd call the department. Such and such had to leave. His wife needed this. Such and such child had to. It was always something happening. So he'll make everyone get on the boat and move just outside the pier because now you got them. They can't go. Whatever's happening at home, somebody got to deal with it. That's the concept I took away from that, seeing that even stable people, when they at home, is too many distractions. So imagine when we got them away from that. They miles away from home, so they can't even respond. You know what I mean? Because they miles away. Now you got a more focused young person. And to me, that's why the 20 cities is so important, because we got to move them away from the home front distractions.
Well, that's an idea. If we could get them elsewhere, I just reflect back on going away to college from the projects. I was who was used to that. Then I get up there with 20-some thousand white people, and there were 11 blacks, and it was like, whoa, a whole nother world. But we came together. We had the 20,000 white people thinking we were all Black power people. We was gonna get them because we were seen as one. We did ultimately operate as one after we got over who's from the south side and the west side bull.
Right.
And we said, we 11 blacks up here with all these people, so we must come together. And it was taking us to get away from our home environments that I could see a south sider or a west sider as a person of value,
Yeah. And Governor, keep this in mind. Let's just say if right now we had 10 guys from Milwaukee here, which Milwaukee wouldn't count because it's too close. They bounce up and down. They'll be distracted. I went back home. But let's say from Dallas, if they hear Charles from Dallas. So if you got 10 guys from Dallas, we got 10 guys from Mississippi, we can have 50 guys assigned to one non-for-profit, one church, one Black business, and now they got too much manpower. So just imagine the impact of knowing that people are stationed in our zip codes that's ready to do good.
Well, I think about when this R3 money is implemented, and it's about reinvesting in our communities for mental health, to reduce violence, and it's one other part to it. But those are the things the non-developed Black people could do and have these people work to help it happen. A program just doesn't happen in a vacuum. You need parts and places and things together, as well as the non-violence part. Now, that's a biggie. I could see if we could ever pull this off, the R3 programs, these would be training hubs for our young people. You come, you work, you learn, because the main thing they need is life skills. How to cook, how to prepare for themselves, how to survive. And these things do reduce violence. They help you have a better mindset. Your quality of life is different. But, there's just one strategy and one way of handling it.
Well, the beauty, and it's like this. Sometimes when someone is drowning, you got to swim from behind them to save them. If you come head on and they see you coming to save them, they might drown you.
Yeah.
So think about that with our community. Sometimes we can't let them know that they being saved. They got to think they going to help somebody, but it's really helping you. You think you're going to save them, but that's going to help save somebody else, but it's really going to be helping you because now you feel like you're adding value to somebody else that you didn't even know you had.
Well, I'm a little concerned when I look around in the cannabis industry and the R3 grants. There are a lot of young Black men your age and they're setting up organizations. But when I question about who you're connected with and all of that, they get kind of hazy. All they know is they got a structure. They're now going to have a darn good salary because they set the budget up. how many people they're going to help or change their position. They can't answer any of those kind of questions. So I just hope that we're not using, the intelligence to set up a structure to continue failure, if you will.
Right. What I hope is going to happen though, because I think about my background with the military. So you got Army people who think they better than Navy people. Navy people think they better than Marines. But guess what? There's a structure that keeps all 5 branches like this, whether they like it or not. And that's the Department of Defense. They don't care what you think, who's better than who. When the mission comes out, Air Force, you drop bombs. Navy, you get in there from the sea. Army, you get on there. So everyone got their lane and they expect you to execute. And I think when we get organized the right way, you ain't got to be kumbaya. You could be singularly focused, but when we call you to a mission, then you just do your singularly focused part, get out of that, and the next person come in and do their part. So we can take that individualism mentality and make it work for us as long as we got a bigger strategy that allow us to use them with what they care about. Do that make sense?
When it's appropriate, yeah. You got
it's like a carpenter and a painter. They could be debating who better, but that porch needs to be built first and then painted second. It ain't no better. It's just both got a role to play.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. The society, we got a lot of roles to play. There are many things that need to be done, and we can do it. So yeah. I look forward to people just kind of pulling themselves up and get busy. Start with simple stuff. You don't have to wait for the great organization. Keep your neighborhood clean. Pick up the trash around your thing. You see a kid, talk to him, see if he can speak well. Can he read? Is there something you can do? Sally's hungry. She got 3 babies dragging down the street. What can you do?
Right.
So
now, so Governor Charles, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, we moving into your neck of the woods now, education. So I would start this way. Florida is leading, the South, Tennessee, Mississippi, they leading and not wanting to talk about race. They say that is bad. We don't want to talk about race. They just strip Walt Disney of their special status. And Republicans typically are pro-business, but they just showing you that this race thing disrupts even their political strategy, that now they're attacking big business over the issue of talking about critical race theory. So my personal thoughts, you guys share your thoughts, is it don't matter what they do, what they talk about. What's more important is what we do, and what we talk about. It's so much history, rich history for us to share. That's what they go do, but we should be having our own in-house infrastructure to educate and reinforce our values with our young people. What do you guys think about this whole critical race piece?
Well, not only is it race, it's sex too. You can't mention gay, you can't mention color, and we're not a uniform world. They do not want to acknowledge that. And for the South, because that's how I'm seeing the South, they still ain't united. And so it's always a fight to have their way supreme once again. That's my take.
Yep. Charles, you with us?
Yeah. Well, let me chime on in.
Go mute.
Okay.
What's your take on it?
Okay, could you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Could you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
So we gotta look at who set up books, that's how I look at education. Who set up material for me to read? What part of math are they teaching me? And that's just like history itself. What part of history is they teaching? Of course, the South got a dirty hand in race in the biggest racism in the world. Of course, they ain't gonna wanna see their generation. They want their generations to forget about it. They won't. That's just like the Indians. This lady wrote a book, and this black lady I know, she wrote a book, and she was I forgot the name of the book, but anyway, she was saying that a white girl asked her mother what happened to the Indians, And she said, oh, they kind of just went away, the way she explained it. And then she did some digging herself and found out which her parents and was telling her Indians was wicked people. They was the one who started wars and stuff like that. But she didn't know she found out through digging, these were these people land. And their ancestors was the one who wiped the Indians out. So that changed her perspective on what her parents told her versus what's true,
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So that's how I kind of see it. Like, we ain't been told the truth all the time.
Well, and I guess the biggest thing is, and we got Claudette on here. She could tell us. It's like in the Bible, right? When they talk about Moses asking you to decide which side you gonna be on, and so that way we'll know when he throw the tabernacles at them, what's gonna happen, because we know all white people aren't bad. And so with that in mind, I call them MDAs, modern day abolitionists, white people who gave their life for human rights. Of course, that involves civil rights too, because they knew it was the human thing to do, is to not enslave people, rape them, separate them from their kids. That was the human thing to do. And it was inhuman to do those things. So they, even though they was white, stood against that, gave their life for that, the human thing to do. So I think we gotta identify our black people married to white people, our white people who are not married to black people, but they care deeply about what we go through. So that way we can be able to isolate those who are haters, if you will, and want to continue to see the oppression of us. And those people are the ones that we should address. That's the positive way, address. But the whites who are modern day abolitionists, we shouldn't throw them in the same boat as those, even though they might be white, who we know want to keep us in a certain, degraded position. So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, all white people are not bad. And I wonder about the children and their understanding of what they can do to make a difference. If you say you love me, you're okay with me, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
Are you giving any money back to Black issues, Black causes, Black advertising, Black anything? That's important. If you cannot actually befriend another Black person, then you can certainly contribute to the things that matter to us in a lot of ways.
And think about this, Governor, because I tell people, not knowing is the privilege. Not knowing is the privilege. Like any men out there that don't know how much milk costs, that's a privilege. That means somebody else buying the milk because you don't know what it costs. That's the privilege. You don't have to worry about that. So when they say, I didn't know, that's the privilege right there. Not knowing, because we live it every day. So we don't have the option of not knowing.
Certainly a different way of addressing. I hadn't quite thought of that like that. Oh, it's a privilege, huh, that you don't know.
I mean, we know about struggle. You think we wanted to know about struggle? No, we were forced to know about it. So we ain't had the luxury of not knowing.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a part of life, much like what the Bible teaches. He didn't say it was all going to be pretty and good. He said, if you believe, though, you can survive this. And a quote I heard just recently, again from George Fraser. I was listening to him a lot yesterday, and he was just saying it's been not the Black man's anger or fight itself. It's been the fact that we've been right. That change happens. Yes, it's slow as heck, but the fact that we are a spiritual being and we know we got morals, we got a moral compass, it will come around. Just have to find your way through until that time.
And on that same boat, because they right now they just showed these people taking in the Ukrainians up north, and it really settled in my spirit, because in Africa right now as we speak, wrong is happening. It's been happening. It continues to happen. But because we don't control the narrative, they get to put the spotlight where they say this need is. And you got this lady up north, she was saying, when I saw that they needed help, I jumped right at it to help. And I want to help. I want to help human beings. But here we are in need. You ignore our need because you see someone that you know you have an affinity for. You want to help. It was help needed in your own city, but it is what it is. Again, that's the privilege. You can play ignorant to what's happening on the south and west side because you up north. So I just wanted to put that out there because I think too often we look the other way when it don't affect us, and that's not being a broad-based human being. That's being biased. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it's a bad habit of us. You know, if it don't affect me, I ain't in it. And you just kind of turn the other eye away from that.
Mhm.
And then again, you don't assume any personal responsibility in it. So I ain't got to do nothing. It wasn't my baby. It wasn't my thing.
Right. Exactly. Right. Not giving a DAMME, you know, a damn, you know. So yeah. And I think that's where we come in at with the way we are constantly meeting people and then asking them to get involved in areas that flow for them. This slide you're looking at, if you guys can see it, this is a perfect example. Because you see it, yeah. So imagine if you are a kindergartner and now you got daycare people, entertainers, painters, and veterinarians saying, I want to invest in you. I'm gonna help you. You're a first grader and you got seamstress, gardeners, and liquor store owners saying, I want to pour into you. So this allows us to be very intentional, make sure if you're kindergarten through 12, we've already set aside skilled people to be investing in you. And to me, this is a game changer right here. What do you guys think?
Well, maybe we didn't start young enough in being the game changers, because I look at the program we have over Lori Lightfoot's program, Still I Rise. These are ex-offenders. They get $1,500 a month. They get to go to school. They can end up with a degree. They have all sorts of resources available to them. But man, if you tune into these grown people, these are not kids. They are rude. They're disrespectful. They are not wanting to do anything to help themselves. They want the $1,500 check. So I'm thinking, boy, are they viewing this as just another program? But you could just skim the money off and you ain't got to put in any effort. And here you have a chance to do so much more. But they've gotten rid of 3 teachers because they couldn't tolerate how the students are behaving. And this has been on Zoom. We just went back to school.
Wow.
So I'm like, hey, these grown people.
Now I'm not surprised though, because I talk about gaps all the time. So this program you're talking about, you're treating the crack addict in the crack house. What do you think about that?
You're treating what now?
The crack addict inside the crack house.
So you're saying school?
Well, no, what I'm saying is if people are in the same environment, even though you're trying to pour into them, you haven't gotten them away from all the devices that they probably got them in the boat they're in now. It's gonna go back to what you always know I'm gonna say, which is we gotta get this out of town piece going. I just think that is the missing element in what we've been doing in this country, period, you know? Because this same thing, Governor, is happening in Detroit, St. Louis. Even the rich white people who got all this money, they know the value of sending their kids to drug treatment facilities away. They know, don't do it local, send them away. Even the prisoners, they send them away. We asking people to change their life in the same toxic environments. Like we setting them up for, you know, not seeing the real growth we want them to see.
Well, that's an aspect I hadn't quite thought of. And you know, it's possible if you got a college program, usually there's some dorm or housing situation that would remove them from their home. Maybe that's a potential solution down the road. Let's get them. We
But
can't keep
Gov, you be going to Vegas all the time. Think about like if someone never been to Vegas, they mind go be different than someone that's in their same neighborhood. They gonna still be slouched over because they cool. They in their own environment. You in Vegas, you at least got to sit up and look around. You ain't been there before, you know.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe more of that can happen, especially when I think about when we speak of those Ukrainians, man, they finna have a good life right here in America and probably in my neighborhood. Yeah. And here I see the homeless and those without, it's gonna change for them. They've got 3 years of leg up. So you ain't gotta have no papers, nothing. We gonna set you up good. You got a place to stay and eat and all that. And I'm trying to keep the anger down for my people. And I know my success is going to come more so from narrowing my focus. What can we do? I can't look at all of that stuff out there and stay angry about it.
You know what keeps me focused is the fact that someone told me, a poet, she said, God gives his toughest assignments to his strongest warriors.
Yeah, here we go again.
That made me feel so refreshed because I was like angry. And I said, you know what? We can endure, we can handle it, and we still love on people despite the struggle. So that says something about the tenacity, the resiliency in us, that we can see people flat out ignore us and help someone else, step over us to help someone else. And we still don't have that anger that's going to do something to you. That says a lot.
Yeah. And I also believe that as we coalesce around the vision, not the pain, we can get somewhere. Let's stay with that, y'all.
Yep. That's a great point. So we also have the awards this month. I knew it wasn't gonna be as popular, but next month being women, our mothers, we're gonna have time. We got 7 days before May, but every month we need to be honoring various aspects of our people in our community. This month is Female Cousin Month. What female cousin do we nominate so they can get something to say we appreciate you? And next month will be women. Of course, June will be men, but every single month, Grandmama Day and Grandmama and Granddaddy Day in October, every month, honoring, spreading love. And we're going to do it in a raffle by zip code, by a city, and whatever we got sponsor-wise, we're going to give it to them. So the barbershop might cut your person hair free. The nail salon, do your nails free, whatever. But the point is just every month, 12 times a year, spreading, I appreciate you. What do y'all think about that?
Is this in lieu of our, like Policeman's Day and Fireman's Day? We've changed that?
Nope, no, this extra. This extra.
Oh. All right.
This extra. And Governor, deep down, Charles still on here with us. If you remember a long time ago, you heard me and Jamaica talking about the foundation, Jamaica and Sai Foundation. You remember that a long time ago?
Not directly, but I got these memories.
Tracy was angry about it because she was like, what you mean you're gonna do away with NBCU? I said, no. I said, the bottom line, when we do the awards for the kids, when we doing all this giving away stuff, the fact of the matter is NBCU isn't designed for that. That's just what we do. And the real deal is to have a foundation that's all they do is give away money. Like that's the whole crust of it. So it don't entangle the legal structure of NBCU. So the appreciations eventually is going to become that foundation that's all it's doing is giving away money for female of the month, uncle of the month, nephew of the month, son of the month, daughter of the month, mother of the month, mother of the year. That's where that's going eventually. We just right now just getting more ready for it to become that.
I like it. I'm working with my family, trying to at least let's start just a family business, you guys, and get to the foundation. We have 2 law school graduates in the family this May. And I'm like, well, what are we waiting on? We got everything we need, people. Let's
In Vegas?
No, my brother David in Georgia and my brother Dennis in Georgia, the son and the daughter, Erica. You know, Erica, that girl is just over the top. She's getting all kinds of monies and stuff, graduating from law school to continue her criminal justice for Black people specifically. And I'm just so proud. The nephew, he's the one that coming from Georgetown, and he's a student that was dyslexic early on. He had to have special tutoring, and to see that he can graduate law school, I'm like, if you want it, you can have it, but you got to commit. I'm just grateful.
It go back to the resiliency, just so strong as the people. So I love it. That's a great report. That's our good news report. So the last two sections we got to cover, you guys, is dealing with laws, policy. And I'm going to tell you, we already kind of touched on it briefly with the Florida, what they're doing with these critical race laws, gender. We had Tennessee, they passed a law to make it where you can marry a child. Tennessee. And
is that 16?
Under 16, yeah. They took away the age, that it had language in there with an age restriction. The language disappeared. So essentially you can marry a child. And I think the governor signed it or was contemplating signing it. But that's one of the crazy laws on the books. Of course, Mississippi, and this is something that we got to watch this. Right now, it's only one county in Mississippi where they want to make trailers. You can't have trailers on your own property. So what this is going to do, they say because of all the storms down there, there's one county that they want people to get brick and mortar because it's safer, your insurance rates will be lower and all that. And the Black politicians said, y'all worry about that. My people trying to survive. Like, forget what you're talking about. They trying to make, no one wants to be in a trailer. So you make this law here, you're going to be essentially kicking them out of town. And it's a white group that's pushing this. And we got to be careful of groups like that. Anything that happens in Mississippi, our antennas as Black people should go up because we know that's the closest state to being at least 50% Black. So if you got an effort that's going to hurt us in the poor state, that's going to make room for other people to come in there. So that's one that we're laser focused on watching and helping make sure that they know they got us to donate to them and to help them in whatever we can to fight, push back against banning trailers. Because personally, I want to use trailers for us to be able to help set up this places for our people to stay when we get there. So if they start banning it, that's going to limit what we want to do. What do you guys think about that?
Well, you know, they do have a lot of storms and stuff, but unless they're going to give provisions for more substantial housing, they need to leave that alone because the people are doing the best they can do already.
And that's what he said. He said no one wants to be in the trailer. Like, yeah, I want to be in the trailer home. But what's the alternative? Kicking them out, making them sell their house and go live somewhere else? Like, so.
Well, I think about FEMA, all these disasters and stuff. Let's see where these people end up. They're going to have them in trailer homes and stuff until, things can improve. So at best, any law should consider the temporariness of it. You got so long until you must. And hey, we got a pathway to help you get to that must do, Key
word, pathway. You just said it versus, oh, well. It's saying, oh, well-ish,
Yeah.
Like, oh, well. So, and then, of course, the election is coming up in June here, which I hope this becomes permanent. I think elections in the summertime will give us more people caring about it than in the winter. What do you guys think about that?
Well, we need to go back in and restructure that legislative session. That's for certain. Because more needs to be done. They shut it down early because of the elections in June, which is new and different. But if we're going to proceed on a more permanent plan with that, we need to change the sessions because they'll give us the TV episode. Oh, we stayed up all night to pass laws. Well, what were you doing in other months? You didn't do that. And now you got a 7,200 page report to sign off on. So yeah, you stayed up all night to find the signature place. That's all I can say about it.
No, you're absolutely right. Definitely, we got to restructure that. But what it does, I think it allows us to at least show that turnout could be higher in the warmer months versus this November and February setup that they have now, which challenges families and, because, people cold and got to navigate in the cold and move around, and it get darker earlier in November type stuff. So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm gonna watch and see how that goes. Voter registration. So Craig Wimberly of Cole and Lanyard Smith of Evangelism of Grace today held their voter registration meeting right at 6105 Michigan, Governor. Did you know about it, right?
Yeah, I knew about it, but I didn't really see a need to go down there. And they were just right down the street. I do what I do.
I was there. I was there. So I represented for us. Okay. Yeah, I represent. Well, the key was Roland Burroughs was there, and that's the Black senator, former senator, attorney general, and that connection, reconnecting with him, I think is going to open up a few more doors for us. Trek was there, Dewan, and so we met some other key people there. And the key was everyone there, I told them about what we're doing every second Friday, which is report card day on politicians nationwide. And that's also our voter registration day led by Governor Brittany and 60652. Gave them our phone number and everything, said, if you guys want us to connect, we'll do that as long as you're in our 20 zip codes. So that actually was a good thing, but at least they knew that we do have a voter registration piece to what we do block by block.
Yeah, there's some good work going on. And for me, I'm trying to recruit some court watchers for one group, and then the others, voters registrars. They can do this. They're out there, and I want to know the possibility of it.
Now, let me know, like off this call, let's talk about that so I can kind of circle some people your way, depending on what zip codes they in, where they doing that at,
Okay. Yeah, they're going to be, the court watchers are going down. We're trying to prepare an impact report on the judges who litigate on this, cannabis stuff, and who are they? So we are asking the young people to go down and evaluate, making an assessment. Most of them have never really been into a court, and then, a judge is a human being, and we show them, based on this, and they can look at historical records and see if this guy needs to go. But they're the ones who are facing the courts now, so we really want to press them to begin understanding what's happening here.
Mm-hmm. We have on the Gary conventions is kicking off in person now. COVID is better in control, if you will. So we're going to be in person on May 7th. May 7th is the first Saturday in May. And so on tap, we got Frederick Pulliam, we got Hydrus, Jamaica will be on there, Karen Armstead from the West Side, Crystal from Auburn Gresham, Tracy will be on there. I don't know, Governor, if you're available, we definitely would love for you to participate as well, either in person or on Zoom. But this is the beauty, and I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this. Every one of these conventions, every one of these weekly conventions, we want to vote on what the theme would be for the next year. Let me say it again. The purpose of these coming togethers is to decide on what will be the direction for the next year. So and I want to read these. I'm going to read them fast. And Governor Claudette, you're the only woman on here right now. So I want to get your thoughts on what the direction should be for the women from Gary, Chicago, and Atlanta. It's only these 4 options. So you got to pick which one, because you can't cover all 4. Which one? And I want people that's watching to know this is what we're asking women to do all over America based on your city. So Governor Claudette is here in Chicago, so we're going to ask her. So the discussion is about women being safer at night. Should that be what they're going to discuss at the convention? Should it be about women and abusive spouses? That's the second one. Should it be about women being more than just clerical workers? Or should it be about women and how much attention to detail they pay to doing things? So out of them 4, which one would you select as the topic to come away with a theme with?
It's kind of tough. That last one, say that again.
Well, the theme is something centered around how women pay more attention to detail. And with that, it's a slew of professions out there that is uniquely perfect for women.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Let me think about that.
Well, that's not. Here's Miami, Birmingham, and New Orleans women. We're asking them to decide on women and toxic food intake. That's one. Women and discrimination when they're out dining in restaurants. Women and the positive effects of traveling, and then women and the negative effects of traveling, i.e. human trafficking. So if you was in Miami, Birmingham, New Orleans, which of them 4 would you pick?
Oh, travel, the benefits of travel.
Detroit, St. Louis, and Milwaukee women are being asked to vote on one, women and corrupt home repair men. So when they call a repair person to do something at home, they always feel like they're getting someone who's dishonest, want to have sex with them, things of that nature. That's one. Women and dishonest auto dealers or mechanics. The third one is women and sexist laws. And then the last one is women and incarceration. If you was in Detroit, St. Louis, Milwaukee, which one would you pick?
I would go with the car stuff. More of us have cars and lying mechanics, beating people, and the car still don't run. So let's talk about that, y'all.
Kansas City, Cleveland, and St. Paul women are being asked to vote on women and student loan debt, women in education, women in exercise, and women and emotional health.
I would choose the emotional health. We got to heal ourselves. We've been through the COVID, as I call it. So we got to regroup and recenter ourselves, get back in rhythm with what is of God.
3 more. So we got Dallas and Memphis. That region, women would decide on women and motherhood, or women after the age of 50, women and social media, and then last one, women and the established media, like the networks. Which one, if you was in Dallas or Memphis, would you vote for?
I'd shoot that over 50. We need to talk about that.
All right. Sister Olivia out in LA, she's excited. She go lead this one. LA and San Diego women are going to be asked to decide on women and entertainment, like the movie industry, women in sports, women in gardening, and then women in farming. Which one, if you was in LA or San Diego, which one would you vote for?
I'm trying to grow my 5 medical weed plants, so I choose farming. The law says I can do that now, but I don't know how to do that. I'm going to take some farming.
The last one is our Boston, Philly, DC, Norfolk, and New York women deciding on people profiting off of studying women. So all these studies researching women for profit, or no more missing Black women, focusing on that, or women in innovation, and the last one, women and technology. Which one would you vote for?
I like that innovation.
All right, so let's go back to Chicago so you can finish that. Between Gary, Chicago, and Atlanta, women being safer at night, women and abusive relationships, women are more than clerical workers, and women and attention to detail. Which one do you think?
Let me get that safer at night. None of my friends want to go out anymore. They're scared.
What you just did, what you just participated in, is the reason to bring Black women together from all 20 cities, because that's a real agenda. And we hope that they will really walk away with a theme so that every corner of our 20 cities are working towards something for next year as Black women. What do you think about that concept and that idea?
I'd love to have it, and at some point in time have a convention or a festival where we all come together, you know, a day or so. Gary is a great place with all those empty venues. We could do like a day-long thing, different panels, different topics, but we could do it and get to know each other.
And I'm glad you said that. Especially, I want our Gary people who might watch this later to hear you say that from Chicago, because what people don't realize, Gary is like Mississippi in Africa. The media portrays it so bad that it makes you want to run away from it. But it's so many beautiful spots and people in those places that if you don't drink that Kool-Aid of what the media is pushing, you won't benefit from the beauty of these very places.
I agree. Think about all that lakeside land, and you know, there's room enough to spread out your living. You don't have to be on top of each other.
Yes.
It's wide open, you know, for reinvention, if you will.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. And with us doing this, we want to help all of our people own some real estate in this city. Like, that's a really, really big deal, is to make sure that when you're not here, you're making Airbnb money with the people who are here at one of the 52 conventions that's happening every single weekend in Gary, Indiana, all different. So that's a big deal that we want to make this 90% Black town so vibrant, where everywhere you turn, it's always people coming in to the convention.
Oh yeah. I see you got a Jubilee, convention Jubilee. I like that. They used to use that a lot in church gatherings. You know, most towns are ran by some church or churches, and they would have a Jubilee. That would be their way of aligning the different religions at one big.
Exactly.
Setting. Yeah.
So yeah. So just imagine every neighborhood in Chicago at any point, Friday, Saturday, they know they can come to Gary because there's always people coming and going, and there's always a discussion that's going to move us forward. That's what these conventions should provide. Every city get to Gary. So now we made Gary a vibrant place. And then the summit, which is what we're doing now, that's when everyone all over the country come to Chicago for the national summit. So we got Chicago and Gary, where we asking everyone to come to either for the convention in Gary or for the summit in Chi-Town. But we go get this travel where everywhere we turn, our people are constantly moving around, spending money, going in, supporting Black businesses, Black entrepreneurs. We got, you know, you go have the Black Cannabis Lounge. When they in town, of course, they go vibe. So you're going to be able to measure how many of Charles people from Dallas is coming and spending money with you. So that's what the beauty of this does.
We got Airbnbs, we got Turo cars. We're going to be ready for those travelers, you know?
That's what it boiled down to. So I just want to thank you guys for taking time out. We've been on here for almost 2 hours here. The last piece to this is to talk about the next one, which is May 28th. That is the weekend that people are going to be out shooting fireworks and having a blast. So I suspect it's not going to be too many people watching this, but we got to keep it going. And perfectly fine with me. But any closing remarks that you have?
Well, I'll be in Vegas then. It's be my grandbaby's second birthday, May 29th. So
wow.
I'm getting out of here sometime.
Okay,
yeah,
24 months.
So I'll probably be there till mid-June or something like that before I come back this way.
I love it. I love to travel. Whenever I hear about travel, I smile because I know that's about experience.
Oh, yes. And it's a good thing too. I can't wait to get to that topic, women over 50. Because everybody, I don't know what the hell they think I'm supposed to do now. Just sit down and stay in a chair or something. And I'm like, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I believe in the whole
and
world.
think about it. Like I told a few people who lost their mom for the first time or their father for and it's the first year. I said because last year we had about 4 people, and I said if y'all want to, I can connect you guys together. But coping with your loved one that's no longer with you, it should be a network for that. It should be since we know a lot of people in different areas. But I'm thinking about you, and Mama Doris, Mama Reddick, how she was such an impact to so many people. How can you share some words with someone who just experienced the loss of they loved one? I think that's a network we can make a little bit stronger. What do you think?
Well, I'm still in pain. It's getting better. And I haven't figured out what to do with my life in terms of filling this vacuum because my mom was such a great part. And I know Charles and his father, they had this similar relationship where, they gone now and you got to find another way. And I'm not quite there yet.
But Governor, can
Yeah.
I say this though? What is the first year like? What is the difference between the first year and the second year? Just your experience. That's the type of stuff, like the fact that you went through it already, just your insight is insight others might not have. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And my only answer was to be with family. I haven't felt a need to be with my family like this. I don't know what else to say because other people don't really want to hear or can not understand what's going on. But family, my brothers, I make them call me every day. Y'all better check on me. My nieces and nephews, I need that because it's just me really here in Chicago, and so they've been my support, and I haven't wanted to go
Yeah.
outside that too much. Just my family, getting closer.
Governor Charles, any perspective on that? Because your father, he been transitioned for what? How many years now?
Well, it's been actually 7 years. His dad, he passed away in 2015.
Wow, seems
So
like
yeah, 7 years, yeah. And coping with it, I just take the treasure the things that value the things that he gave me when he was here, and
yeah.
just miss him, I miss him, of course, and I'm try to pass his legacy on much as I can. He was a very nice man. He helped some everyone. So, that type of thing is instilled in me,
And
so I'm gonna carry that on.
Now, believe it or not, but this to you and Claudette, even people who go watch this later, that might help them right there. Just hearing both of you, what y'all just said.
Mm. Well, I say smother yourself in family.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, we had unexpected people, my cousin and Deanna's mother, unexpectedly, also like going on 2 years now. Yeah, 2020. Yeah. So it was unexpected with her. So yeah,
I think the biggest thing to me is that you don't feel alone. And listening to Governor Claudette, what she did went with her family. But when you alone, the mind can go all over the place. And so I just think, like you say, being around people that you comfortable with.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And I'd like to say one more thing. People that's listening out there, this amazing stuff that we just talked about, these 2-hour coverage. I would like to ask anyone, if possible, find it in your heart, please donate to keep us NBCU going strong. Si, would you give them the apps that they could go to?
Oh yeah. Well, now I think that's critical because at the end of the day, money is like blood. It got to circulate. If your body ain't circulating blood right now, that's blood clot, you can transition because of that. So we as a people, we want you circulating those $1 in. The beauty with our leaders in place in every zip code is we make sure that we can tell you how the money was spent in every zip code, how much came in, how much left out in every zip code. That's the real accountability and transparency. We have the website, www.nationalblockclubuniversity.com, www.nationalblockclubuniversity.com. We are right on time, you guys. 2 hours in, 2 hours completed. Thank you guys as PQ and our last name personnel for carving out these 2 hours. We won't bug you again until October. I can give you the exact date. It is October 22nd. That's when we would love to have you guys back. That gives you 6 months of break. Hopefully you'll be back October 22nd.
All right, Ms. Reed, good seeing you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pick it up there to Gary. I haven't seen Simon and Jamaica, and I was thinking, man, I gotta call them. So I think I'm trying to come and see y'all.
Yeah. Well, Mimi is mobile now. She's mobile now, so that changes dynamics a little bit.
Okay. Well, God bless. Thank you guys for being so faithful. And Tyron, you may not think this is a lot, but recognize when I get out, people say, "Oh, you with that guy, Cy Smith, aren't you?" Yeah, y'all do remember something, you know.
Yeah. Now, well, I thank God for that, Governor, because that means God allowed me time and consistency to be able to be available, for this duration. So all praises up to God.
All righty.